Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be showing you my November 2021 spreads as I am trying to catch up in this planner and move on to 2022, my new planner. But in this video, I'll be showing you 4 spreads, and I'm actually using 4 different shops this time. So I am using kits from the PrettyPinkCo, the Glitter Momma, Nikki +3, and Station Stickers. On this page, I like to fill in the month with pictures that I take throughout the month. Most of them are of my boys, but just to get a visual of the entire month and to see how, how they grow and everything that we do. But getting into the month, I'm going to try to speed through these weeks a little bit faster than last time because I do have 4 spreads this time, so I will try to mainly point out the highlights. This kit is from the PrettyPinkCo. It is called Falling Leaves. And I guess I will mention that there are 2 spreads. 2 of these, I think the first 2, I had already set up the perimeter, so I actually hadn't added the date cover deco at the time, but everything else was laid down, so I didn't really have the option to save this kit for 2022. And I think this was the only kit that I actually purchased in 2021 that I'm using in November. But for the other spreads, I tried to use some older kits. I did have a couple that I had purchased last year that I was really excited to use, but I decided to hold those back for 2022 so that I could use them and actually hopefully make a whole plan with me for each of those separately. But I probably would have saved this one because I just love the artwork. But since I had already laid it down, I obviously had to use it. But this kit was really fun to use. There were a lot of new elements in the PrettyPinkCo kits, so that was really fun to use. And I guess for my weekend banner, I mainly used the flags from the kit. They were definitely shorter than I'm used to, but I added some Simply Gilded washi to fill in the space. And then I'm not using the Glitter Momma for once. I am using a PrettyPinkCo script up here, and everything is from the kit, I think. Yeah, all of what I'm using in the border or in the perimeter is from the kit, except the date dots are from Sadie Stickers. I had received them in a grab bag, so I kind of forgot about it with the rest of the month. I probably would have used it for all my gold spreads, but I do have the rest of the month left over for this year's fall spreads. Anyways, getting into this week. So this week, PJ had minimum days all week, and I think it was for the end of the trimester, so they were getting all the grades ready and they just needed the whole week to, oh, we were doing conferences, that's what it was. So the teachers were doing conferences with all the parents, and all those were like held after school, so they decided to do minimum days all week. Painting my nails. This night PJ had a nightmare, which isn't super common, but it was definitely notable because he was really scared. And then I wrote here that he was scared at nap time and bedtime because he was just not wanting to have another nightmare. So for nap time I slept with him, but for bedtime I kind of just stayed with him extra long just to like calm his nerves and let him know like it was gonna be okay. Even if he has a nightmare, like it's gonna be okay, and I'll be right there if he needs me. So on Tuesday I went through and decluttered the toys. I had to get some gas because we were gonna take family photos on Wednesday, so I needed to make sure we had enough gas to get to the location. And then I did some filming, family Zoom. Wednesday was our family picture day, so I pretty much spent the whole time that PJ was at school getting ready. So, showering, doing my hair and makeup, which I hadn't done in so long. And, I had been planning out the outfits for quite some time. So I think on this day I was still not sure what I was gonna wear. I had 2 sweaters that I could have easily worn either of them. I just didn't know which one to go with. But yeah, I got ready during the morning and my husband went to pick up PJ for minimum day, and then we pretty much as soon as school was over, we had to load up the car and get to the location. And the boys were so good during these photos. Like, in the past, PJ's been pretty good once he was like 3 or 4. Like, he had been able to like smile and listen to the photographer. I remember last year and the year before, Benny was pretty slow to open up. Like, he really didn't want to smile. I think the first year we did it, Benny was like a year and a half, and he just stared at the camera, no smile, like the entire photo shoot, the entire hour. So then the next year was like he did the same thing, but then towards the end he would start smiling. And this time they both were ready to smile. Every single photo they took, it was them smiling and looking at the camera. And the photographer was like amazed by it. She's like, "Do you guys practice photos?" And I was like, "Actually, we do take a picture after school every day, and that's kind of been part of our routine." So maybe that has helped. That helped with the session, but I was really happy with how the photos came out. And it was nice this time, like I didn't have to worry about trying to make the boys smile. I just had to focus on how I looked. Like, normally when we do our photos, I'm like, trying to make them laugh, like tickle them, telling them to look. And this time it was just so easy. We just went from spot to spot, different positions, different people together, and me with the boys, my husband with the boys. We switched out positions and it was so easy. And now I guess the only thing I have to think about for next year is whether I want to go to the same location. We've been going there every time, kind of just for the boys to have a sense of like, I think going to the same place makes it a little bit easier for them, because then they get familiar with it, like, oh yeah, this is where we take pictures. But I don't know if we necessarily need that next year. We should try somewhere else. But anyways, after that we went to get lunch. McDonald's was on the way home, so that's what the boys wanted. That's what we got. We got some ice cream because the boys did so well. We had promised them that before we got there. I remember last year in 2020 we promised them lollipops after the photos and told them, if you smile and you listen, then we'll give you a lollipop. And that really motivated definitely PJ. Benny, over time he's like, oh yeah, I do want the lollipop. So that helped. I don't even know if they needed the ice cream motivation, but then after that we had to get ready for the parent-teacher conference. We scheduled ours on the same day because my husband was for sure going to be home. So we wanted to make sure that my husband was at the parent-teacher conference. It was virtual this year, so we just had to get on Zoom. And we found out in that conference that PJ loves to dance throughout the entire class. Like, any time there's music playing, he will be dancing, which I guess is something that is one of the kids who is one of the only kids who does that in class. And the other thing is that he helps in class a lot. She said he's always trying to help his friends at his table and always encouraging them and constantly like trying to be a great helper, which was a huge surprise to us because my husband always asks PJ when he gets home. You know, pretty often he'll ask him like, did you help anyone today? Who did you help? And he'll just say, no one, I didn't help anyone. So that was really nice to hear the teacher say that he just enjoys being in class, he dances and helps. Bachelorette with my brother and sister. It's pretty funny, like we actually convinced my brother to watch Bachelorette with us. He has not been watching Bachelor with us, but we did get him to watch the entire Bachelorette season. Thursday napped. So this was the Jacqueline Roxanne launch, is a jewelry company that Jacqueline Hill launched, and it was supposed to start at 10 a.m. and there was a lot of issues with, you know, too many people trying to get on at the same time. I was refreshing constantly and I finally was able to place an order at 4 p.m. Which was crazy, but it was still exciting to at least get my order. I also wrote that PJ ties a sweater around his waist. I guess this was something his friends had been doing in class and he wanted to join them. He was all about tying his sweater around his waist. And then the boys helped rake and sweep leaves. On Friday, I was taking down lights and there was a praying mantis that landed on me, and at first Benny was really scared of it, but I was trying to, normally I would probably scream, but I was trying to be strong and like not to freak him out. So I just showed him like, oh no, they're really nice, they don't bite or anything. So that was fun, like watching the praying mantis and getting him onto a leaf. Target run, did homework with PJ. At this time we were kind of batching homework days, like it seemed like the days were just going by so quickly and we would end up doing all of the homework in one day. So this was one of the homework days where he was really able to finish the whole week pretty quickly. But at this point in 2022, we have to work on it every day because his teacher added more work for him, and he really needs to do little by little because he does get quite a bit more homework now. But I wrote that we were working on stories and imagination, which I noticed that PJ is really not great at using his imagination for stories and thinking of, you know, different things that he would want to draw. He wants me to tell him my ideas, and that has been something we're slowly working on. He kind of just draws inspiration from what we do that week. So we're still working on that, but oh man, this first time that we were trying to do it was pretty tough. Chick-fil-A game night. This was my cousin's birthday. We went to the park as a family. I ordered my doodle planner, which I like to journal in. And then Chipotle, another family game night, and some editing. I really love this full box. On Sunday, church, my husband cooked breakfast. My husband and PJ watched the 49er game. I made banana bread. It was daylight savings time, and now we are getting ready to do the spring forward version of that pretty soon. But Benny had thanked me for helping him clean his room, which is what I put here, which is really sweet. But yeah, that is this week. Let me show you all of the leftovers. I really used a lot of this kit. There were like 2 deco sheets and I was able to use a lot of it. Yeah, I actually don't really have many leftovers. Maybe just some of this deco. So second week of November, November 8th through the 14th, I used this kit from the Glitter Momma called Autumn Chill. So for my washi banner, Simply Gilded, I used one of the washi strips from the kit. Again, these were a little shorter, so I tried to mainly use Simply Gilded. The previous week was harder to do because there's so many, the colors in here are very similar. I was able to pull in some more washi in this one. And then I have the Glitter Momma November script. So for this week, worked out with Benny, uploaded video. I did use these, I don't know what they're called, but I guess they're maybe bougie boxes, but these are fall boxes, and I decided to add them inside the day extenders because this style is a little busy for me, but I did want to like see the little leaves in the back, so I tried to minimize like what I put on top of it. But I decided to put them inside the day extender so I would still be able to use them, but not necessarily see it with the spread like this. But let's see. So I used a checklist on this one. Our family photos were ready on this day, which was pretty quick. I watched Married at First Sight, bath, phone calls. I needed to work on our Christmas list. Had some Happy Mail planning session. I made our family holiday card since our photos are ready. And then my husband was stressed about school. PJ gave me homework this day. He just made some homework for me to do, which I thought was so sweet. Because he really enjoys the questions that I add to his homework. So he wanted to be the teacher, I guess, and give me some homework. Booked grooming, laundry, Amazon, grocery run. Not too much going on this day. Cleaned the house. My mom came over for lunch and she brought over gifts for the boys. I think they were supposed to be Halloween gifts, but she kept forgetting to bring them. And then I printed out a couple Thanksgiving worksheets that the boys asked for. On Thursday, it was Veterans Day. PJ had no school on Thursday and Friday, so I marked it in the same way with these different paint swatches. On Thursday, I started packing. We did some fall art, car wash, since we were planning to go to my brother's house. This was pretty much a prep day for that, but cleaning out the car and booking the hotel, calling. My sister called and we watched The Bachelorette. I wrote that spam calls began because we had started some paperwork for refinance, and every time that happens you get on a call list and you just get a ton of calls, and that was definitely not the smartest thing. We've done refinance a few times with different houses, but yeah, we didn't even go through with that, so it was kind of frustrating that we went through the preliminary round and had to get all those spam calls. But on Friday we had therapy. Sweet Kawaii Design was having their planner launch, and then we drove to my brother's house, and this trip was a short trip. We were basically driving to pick up my sister. She wanted to stay a little bit longer since her appointment that she needed to go to was a bit close to Thanksgiving. She decided to just stayed a little bit early, and I think she had something planned. I can't remember what it was, but she wanted to be here for the following week. And when we arrived, my brother cooked dinner for us, which was really good. And then we stayed at a new hotel. We had an issue with the hotel that we previously stayed at, and the issue was mainly with Expedia, but my husband didn't like how it was handled with the hotel, so he kind of just wanted to try something new and see how that went, and we ended up really liking the new hotel that we stayed at. We had Chick-fil-A breakfast. That is one of my favorite things down there. We used to have Chick-fil-A near our house in South Carolina. Now in California, the Chick-fil-A is pretty far, so we really love getting Chick-fil-A breakfast whenever we see my brother because it's fresh and it's so close to his house. I used this family time script. I think it was on a freebie, and then we went to a playground near my brother's house. We kind of had a little PJ tantrum at this time. I can't remember what it was about, but I ended up taking Benny to the playground, and my husband stayed with PJ and tried to talk through the tantrum that he had, and they ended up coming pretty late. It was like getting dark already, but we were able to go on the playground all together for a little bit at least, and then we had to go back. But Sunday, I was supposed to wake up early. I overslept. Kind of had a rough night of sleep because I'm not used to sleeping with the boys and they were moving so much throughout the night. So I overslept. I did not wake up when I was supposed to. And we went over to my brother's to eat Raising Cane's together, which is another one of my favorite things. We do not have one of those by where we live. And we also were picking up my sister, and then we drove home. We had pizza once we arrived home, and I started unpacking. But that is the rest of this week. Leftover stickers. I always try to use as many stickers from the kit as I can. Didn't use checklists. And actually, there was a weekend banner, but I used one of the Glitter Momma foiled weekend banners instead. And I'll save this for whenever I use a non-foiled kit. Third week of November, November 15th through the 21st. This kit is from Nikki +3. It was the July limited edition kit, possibly from 2 years ago. Maybe before that, I'm not sure, but it's called Mountain Floral. I love the bright colors. Yellow's usually not one of my favorites, but I could not pass up the dark blue with the bright pinks, and I just love the florals in this. Lots of Simply Gilded, along with some flags from the kit. The Glitter Momma. So for this week, I wrote that we did drop off and pick up PJ with my sister. I think this was the only day that she joined us. Her sleep schedule is always way different than ours, so I took out the Christmas decorations. That is something that I like to do before Thanksgiving because my sister loves Christmas and her birthday is the week of Thanksgiving normally, so she kind of has always requested to have Christmas decorations out for her birthday, and that's been part of our traditions as well. And it is even more so because she was staying with us this time, so I definitely had to have the Christmas decorations out. I ordered some Abercrombie gifts, some for the boys, some for my sister. Target pickup. My sister and I watched Twilight together. We were planning to watch the entire series, but things changed towards the end of this week. Tuesday, ordered Scentsy gifts for my sister, did my husband's haircut, laundry, nails, watched New Moon with my sister. Wednesday, I ordered our holiday cards. It took me a while to be confident with the pictures that I chose and the card that I chose for our holiday photos. So that's why it was like a week later that I actually ordered them. And I also ordered a puzzle for my mom. I ordered her a puzzle of the boys' pictures from the holiday photos, and she loves putting those puzzles together. PJ read his first book from school. This was something we had been anticipating. His teacher had told us that once they were settled in the routine of the school and the classroom, that he would be able to have more advanced books to get an idea of where his reading level was. And this was his first book that he had received that was a bit more advanced, and it was really exciting that he was able to start that. At this point, he gets 3 books a week, and they switch out a little by little, but he also has to answer questions now, which isn't his favorite, but this was where it started. He had 1 book, and they were trying to figure out his reading level. I went to the gym with my husband. I was actually able to go to the gym with him because my sister was here, and that was pretty exciting. Even though I didn't like going so late, we went after bedtime, and there were too many people at the gym at that time, so it wasn't great, but it was nice to be able to go with my husband. And then I wrote that there was a sweet note from PJ. On Thursday, I watched the garbage truck with Benny, took a nap, grocery run, Happy Meal, and the boys read books with my husband. Friday, so this was a pretty eventful day. It was sports day at school, minimum day, I believe, for Thanksgiving break. The entire next week there was no school, and I had an Invisalign appointment. My sister also had a dentist appointment. PJ had received his first trimester awards, and his medal came in that he had earned previously for 50 spelling, 50 sight words. And PJ's friend in his class, her and her mom came over and asked if we wanted to set up a play date. We set it up for the next day. We live pretty close to each other, so we decided to go to a park right by our house. And I guess the big mistake was I didn't really expect the interaction, so I completely forgot to ask for her phone number, which ended up being not great. But I went to my dentist appointment, and after we had gotten home, I wrote it here that after school PJ was really tired, and he kind of seemed like his head was hurting maybe, and I wasn't sure if he was just hot or, dehydrated. So it was kind of the first signs of him not feeling well, and it was just progressing slowly that he started to realize, like, oh no, I'm getting sick. And he was really worried about throwing up because that's his pattern whenever he gets sick. So I wrote here that he was sick after school, of course, after we were already home. And I was worried about the play date because I didn't want him, to be sick with the other kids, so I was kind of stressed about it because I didn't know how to contact her and reschedule, but he ended up being sick in the evening, and Benny was really sad because he didn't understand why he couldn't go in PJ's room with him. He was kind of jealous of him being sick and wanted the special attention, but my husband tried to, make him feel better in that sense and try to spend extra time with him, because I was with PJ pretty much as I could. Once my appointment was over, I was in PJ's room wearing a mask in his room the entire time. So I had stayed with him overnight and everything, which made Benny pretty jealous and upset. Saturday, PJ woke up feeling better. Thankfully, it was overnight again, and I had to go to the park at the time of the play date and let them know that PJ was sick, and ask for their phone number so I could, text them in the future whenever we want to reschedule. It was pretty sad. I think PJ's friend was really upset about it. But I did some editing. I started to string the lights on the tree. And at this point, PJ was still being separated from Benny, so still kind of a tough day trying to juggle both of them and make sure they both felt, enough attention. And I think also once we found out PJ was getting sick, my sister decided to go to my mom's house. She wanted to leave the guest room open in case I needed to sleep in there with PJ, but I ended up not doing that. I just stayed in PJ's room, and she also wanted to make sure she didn't get sick, so she felt a bit better going to my mom's house. Sunday, we were all able to get back together. I was able to cuddle both of the boys. I ordered ornaments and gifts. I love to buy ornaments as gifts, so I spent a lot of time trying to figure out which ones to get for this year. And then the boys helped me decorate the tree with all of the ornaments. And I also wrote that PJ practiced spelling 150 words. He did really well. There were only 3 or 4 that he was unsure of, so that was a really good start to spelling 150 words. But here are my leftovers for this week. This was an older format. Like I said, it was like a couple years ago. Oh, this was an extra from this spread. I did switch out, I believe, can't remember which one, maybe this one was here, and I switched it out with the dark brown. Oh, was also an extra from the Glitter Momma. Anyways, here are the leftovers from this kit. I try these this many icons, and that's always helpful to have so many icons that match the kit. But I really love this bright fall spread. This is the week of Thanksgiving, also the week of my sister's birthday, November 22nd through the 28th. Like I said, there was no school all week. This kit is from Station Stickers. It's called Oh Bother, and I was going to use a kit from Two Little Bees for this week. It had the perfect full boxes for my sister, and I decided to save that. I don't know if I'm going to use it for 2022 for Thanksgiving week. I believe my sister's birthday is going to be on a separate week from Thanksgiving, so I might use it for her birthday week. But I try to pick something that reminds me of my sister, and Winnie the Pooh is definitely one of the things that reminds me of her. I think last year I did the entire month kits. The entire month's worth of kits were things that my sister loved, which were pretty much all Disney related. But for this kit, I remember when I purchased it, I wanted to use it for something that had to do with my sister, but I wasn't sure when I'd be able to use it because I had already picked out that Two Bees kit. But when I decided that I wanted to save it, I decided to use this one. I was excited to finally use this kit. I didn't get a perfect match of colors in my weekend banner, but I did get to use some of the flags from the kit, and it was really cool to see this bee combined with fall elements. It was just really perfect to use for my sister's birthday week. The script is from the Glitter Momma, and I believe these are also from Station Stickers. I just added this fall deco sticker on top of the full box. But yeah, so for this week, there's no school. I scheduled a COVID test for PJ and for myself since I was in the room with him the entire time. I picked up donuts. For some reason, whenever we do COVID tests, the boys feel like we need to get some kind of treat as a reward because we always get treats for doctor's appointments. But grocery run, let's see, I set up the tent with the boys and we snuggled in there and watched Mickey Mouse. This is something that we started last year. I had wanted to do it for Halloween, but it just didn't really make sense because there were still school, so I decided to wait for PJ's week of Thanksgiving break, and we were able to enjoy it for the entire week. Morning cuddles. We raked the leaves with the boys, and they wanted to jump in them like Goofy. I used this quote from Sweet Bean Plans. I believe I used a Winnie the Pooh kit last November as well, and I had some leftover stickers. I tried to incorporate some of those in here as well, as long as they matched the colors. I was gonna do the haircuts the previous weekend, but since PJ was sick, I waited until this day. I watched Atypical with my husband, and the boys and I watched Cars and had popcorn. I believe we watched in the tent. On Wednesday, I had Jackson's grooming appointment, so I had it just in time for Thanksgiving when my brother was going to come over. Did a last minute grocery run. My brother arrived this afternoon. I took a nap. PJ wrote on the board my name, and in parentheses he wrote, "We say Momma." They had been asking, we had been talking about my husband's name since it's the same as PJ's name, and he has gotten used to being called Paul at school, so it kind of brought up the question of what's my name and when can they call me Kristen. And we had to explain, like, well, our special name is Mama and Dada because you're the only people that can call us that, pretty much. Like, you are our kids, so you get to call us that, and it's very special to us. So I had to explain over and over that I would really appreciate if he keeps calling me Mama, because everyone can call me Kristen, but only they can call me Mama. And so he wrote that on the whiteboard. I also did some Black Friday prep. I really needed to get everything together because I was trying to figure out Thanksgiving dinner and all of the prep for that. And I didn't really want to have to think about what I was forgetting for Black Friday. So that helps me a lot. On Thursday was Thanksgiving. These scripts are from the Glitter Momma. This whole day was pretty much making food, getting ready, and prepping everything and trying to get the timing right. And I think I did so much better this year compared to last year. I was just so last minute. It felt so last minute last year. And I mean, 2020 felt so last minute. And this time it felt like I was enjoying the entire day and I was able to get everything done at a good time and on schedule. I had made out a schedule for everything. So the only thing I really had to rush was getting ready. I wish I had a little more time for that, but it was fine. It was definitely a lot more enjoyable this year. And then I used this Thanksgiving feast sticker from Once More with Love. I believe we just had my brother and sister over for Thanksgiving, so it was pretty small, but we had tons of food, so we had lots of leftovers. We took family pictures and we made a thankful tree. I had purchased it from Target, and there were little leaves that you can write what you're thankful for. So everyone got a few leaves to write what they are thankful for, and that was kind of nice to see. Of course, Black Friday, buy all the stickers. Definitely had to wake up early for those sales. But we also had therapy this day. We weren't sure if we wanted to do therapy this day, but our therapist was available, and we figured since it was kind of a stressful holiday, especially around family, we figured we should have it just in case. It might have been helpful. Thankfully, I don't think anything crazy happened on Thanksgiving that we needed to talk about, but we then went on a family walk with our cousins, and that was nice to see them, but not necessarily have a meal together, just do something active and see how their Thanksgiving went. I put on Elf, and we sang happy birthday to my sister, and she opened her presents. Her birthday is on this day, but they were leaving on Saturday morning pretty early, so we celebrated this evening. My mom came over for the cake, and then after my siblings left on Saturday, we had our rescheduled play date with PJ's friend, and she actually has a little sister that is Benny's age, so they were all able to play together. I snuggled with Benny. I wrote in this full box that PJ had told me, "I'm sorry for hurting your feelings. Even when I was mad, I still loved you." And it's just nice to hear, them able to apologize on their own and, try to remember some of the words that we tell them all the time. But I did some editing. Here I added those sweeping plan stickers. I did put them in the day extender because they were a little bit brighter than this kit. But in this evening, my husband and I started watching Love on the Spectrum, which is such a great show. Sunday, I just marked my sister's birthday. I used some stickers from Sadie Stickers, and I believe this is from Nikki +3, and then a White Deer Stationery balloon sticker. The happy birthday script is from the Glitter Momma. And then here is where PJ took his first 150 word official spelling test. He missed 5, or I should say he got 145 correct, which was very exciting. So on the previous one, when he was doing the spelling, he was saying them verbally, but on this one, he was actually writing out the words, and some of his letters could look a little sloppy. So an A could look like a U, and that's one of the things he has to work on. He knows how to spell a lot of them, but then he rushes his writing, so that was the main thing we had to work on with his spelling test. But this evening we ended the evening watching Dancing with the Stars and having some popcorn. I believe this was our last day of break, so I wanted to end it doing something the boys love. And that is the week of Thanksgiving. Here are my leftovers from the skit. I think this was the main page I didn't use, but everything else I pretty much used up. But yeah, that is the month of November. I will quickly flip through these again. I'm excited to be done with this planner. I am almost halfway through December, so I do have 2 complete and the other 3 spreads are started, so I'm hoping to be caught up soon. I don't know if I'm gonna do a spread in 2022 before the December catch-up video, but either way, I hope you enjoyed this video. Thank you guys so much for watching and catching up with me, and I will see you next time. Bye guys.